Tony loved driving his beat-up car. Mike loved annoying Tony. Sarah, she loved excitement, even if it meant jumping out of a moving vehicle. See, not the brightest crayon in the box. They were best friends, cruising down Highway 101, boredom their only companion. Until Sarah spoke up.
You know what would be epic?
Sarah asked, eyes gleaming with mischief. Tony gripped the steering wheel. Mike, sensing trouble, chuckled nervously.
Let me guess, jumping jacks on the roof?
Better, jumping out of the car.
Tony almost choked on his gum.
Are you insane?
It'll be like in the movies. Roll, tuck, and boom. I'm up and running.
Yeah, in movies with stunt doubles and hospitals on speed dial.
Undeterred, Sarah started explaining her foolproof plan. She'd pick a grassy patch, wait for the right moment, and make her grand exit. Tony and Mike exchanged worried glances. They knew Sarah. Foolproof usually meant recipe for disaster. The moment arrived. Sarah, hyped up on adrenaline and bad action flicks, flung open the door. She'd been planning this move for weeks, ever since she saw that epic scene in her favorite movie. The excitement was palpable, and she could almost hear the dramatic background music playing in her head. Tony yelled, "Sarah, no!" Mike braced himself, gripping the seat tightly, and Sarah forgot about the roll part. It was supposed to be a smooth action hero exit, but reality had other plans. Instead of a graceful tuck and roll, she tumbled like a sack of potatoes down a hill. Her arms flailed and her legs kicked out in all directions as she bounced and rolled, gathering speed. The car screeched to a halt, tires leaving marks on the pavement. The sound echoed through the quiet suburban street, drawing the attention of nearby residents. Tony and Mike rushed out, expecting the worst. Their hearts pounded as they sprinted towards the hill, fearing what they might find at the bottom. To their surprise, Sarah was in a ditch covered in grass stains, but laughing hysterically. Her laughter was infectious, and soon Tony and Mike found themselves chuckling despite the chaos.
See? I told you. Just like in the movies, Sarah exclaimed, her eyes sparkling with excitement. She gestured animatedly, trying to mimic the moves she had intended to pull off.
Her victory speech was cut short by the screech of tires. Another car had come to a sudden stop, its driver staring in disbelief at the scene unfolding before them, and a voice that could curdle milk. "What on earth are you kids doing?" the driver shouted, their face a mix of shock and anger. The adventure had taken an unexpected turn, but for Sarah it was all part of the fun.
What in tarnation is going on here? Who do you think you are, causing such a ruckus in my garden?
A tiny, furious woman with a giant straw hat stood before them, her face red with anger and her eyes blazing. It was Gladys, the self-proclaimed guardian of the highway and notorious for her temper. Everyone in town knew better than to cross her path. Seemed Sarah had landed in her prized petunia patch, the one she'd spent months cultivating with love and care.
You hooligans! Trampling my flowers like a herd of elephants! Do you have any idea how long it took to grow those?
Gladys shrieked, shaking her fist. Tony stammered apologies, his face turning pale as he tried to explain. Mike tried to hide behind Sarah, who was too busy spitting out dirt to notice Gladys's fury. The scene was chaotic, with everyone trying to avoid the wrath of the old lady. The old lady wasn't having it. Her stern look could pierce through steel, and she wasn't about to let them off the hook. She pointed a gnarled finger at them, her voice trembling with rage as she prepared to deliver her final verdict.
This isn't over, delinquents. I'm calling the authorities. You will pay for this, mark my words.
Actions would follow them for a while, and it would definitely be a story they'd never live down. Moral of the story, think twice before acting on impulse. Don't try this at home, kids. Or on the highway, or anywhere, really. Some lessons are best learned from a distance, especially if Gladys is within a 5-mile radius. Her intuition is rarely wrong, and ignoring her advice can lead to unexpected adventures.